Hello everyone and welcome to this new video by Cyberpunk Studios. It's a little bit new age. We've upgraded a couple of bits and bobs here and there. Anyone who watched the Cyber reviews, I know I only did 3, I'm going to get back to that series. And it's going to be rebranded, by the way, along with the radio show. I'll come to that in a sec. But we've upgraded a little bit, so rather than just having what was just my ceiling light and a single blue stage light that my girlfriend used to use for, well, does use for her stage music events, I've now upgraded to 2 professional RGB cinema lights. So I'm doing blue and pink. I don't know if that shows. Should show. Damn well should show. I spend enough money on these bloody things. And a big 18-inch ring light. Sorry about the wait since the last video. Obviously there's been a, while I've been upgrading things, I've been a little bit off the air. August was my birthday month. I know it sounds weird to do it for the whole month, but I wanted to do it for the whole month. So I took the month off to celebrate. I did a couple of bits and bobs here and there, but I came back hard on GamesMaster HD at the beginning of September. I've also gone hard on my That's not the word you want to use. I've also gone hard on. Sorry, I'll just go with it. I've now gone heavy on. Heavy on. I've now gone back to doing my feature film as well, and that there's going to be a Kickstarter for that soon. Please help me with that when the time comes. I'll come to that in a, in another video perhaps. But it's going to be an amazing one. It's not a huge budget, but it's going to be a really intense, really clever, very well written cyberpunk thriller, and it's based on the short film I made, which is available on Amazon as well as obviously on Blu-ray, professional Blu-ray pressings. Because I am actually a production studio, even though I come across as some boob in a bedroom. I'm not in a bedroom, I'm in a lounge. GamesMaster is a TV show from the early 90s, up to, I believe it ran from 92 to 98. There were 7 seasons, and it was only filmed on videotape. Unfortunately, it was never filmed on cinema film, so what you're stuck with is a standard definition image. That's all you've got. You've got nothing else. That's all you've got to work on. And 10 years ago, I started trying to restore it. And I was doing the same as a lot of people do, which is basically putting it into a video editor and trying to edit like color values and black levels to try and make it pop a little bit more, try and sharpen it up a little bit, and you can achieve a little bit through that method, certainly with GamesMaster because of the way it was shot, but it's very limited. It's still, at the end of the day, you're taking a picture this big, pulling it to this big, and getting a bit of a pixelated mess in the meantime, and you're trying to basically put lipstick on a pig. Well, about 6 months ago, I became into contact with a man named Garrett, who is working with me and specifically working for and doing a lot of the work of, I'm not going to claim any of his work, the guy's a legend, for the Super Mario Brothers movie archive. And anyone who doesn't know, we're also been helping with the restoration of Super Mario Brothers, the movie. Because we're into all sorts of cyberpunk here, even if it's not popular. GamesMaster is at least a bit more popular than Super Mario Brothers the movie. I do love Super Mario Brothers the movie though, come on. Either way, that guy showed me a few new ways of doing restoration that he'd been working on with VHS sources. And there's kind of a small group of restoration artists that work with VHS sources and things like that to try and get the best picture. And again, you're sort of working with putting lipstick on a pig. However, I took it a slight step further in that I am restoring every frame individually. I'm going to get to Dominik Diamond in a minute. You'll probably notice that he's on a picture screen behind me from his Twitch stream. I'll get to that in a second. The video he had is one that's been around since May, which is the first 2 minutes of the show. Some of that first 2 minutes has been restored again to bring out the quality a bit more in the new video release that I've done only a few days ago, as of the 17th of September. And that is 17th September 2020. We are in COVID, so basically, the new video is the first half of that episode, from the very beginning up to end of part 1. Before I get on to Dominik, I want to mention someone else, Dave Perry. People will probably remember, if you know GamesMaster, the show, Dave Perry was on the show for the first 6 seasons. I say first 6 seasons, 6 of the 7 seasons, so pretty much near enough to the end. And he left about halfway through season 6. It was actually kind of a big event.
He is literally staying on his bottom and trying to last as long as he can, but I don't think it's one. He tried to play conservative. Now, on to you, Dave. Now, you have actually said on the show you are the greatest games player in Britain. What happened? What went wrong?
Well, I think I've been set up fairly badly here today.
Okay, then, so what you're saying, Dave, is the biggest game of this year. You haven't played much.
It's not released till next year. I'll play it next year when it's released in this country.
Okay, you are a journalist. We can get it on import.
Not a journalist, I'm a marketing manager.
We're not seeing sour grapes at all here, Dave, is what you're trying to say.
No, we're not. We're seeing somebody just saying he's been set up.
Okay, then, and on that bombshell!
It's kind of a big moment in the show. Ends with Dominik going, and on that bombshell, which I'm pretty certain is where Jeremy Clarkson stole it from. Dave Perry came on to looking at the project on the Facebook page about 6 months ago, probably around the time we did the 2-minute video, actually, and he's been quite positive with it ever since. He's contacted me a few times, not constant back and forth, but a few comments here and there, and he's also sent me additional videos of him working with rescanning his own videos, and basically some of the behind-the-scenes stuff that we'd never seen before of him at events at, say, Virgin Megastores in London, while they were doing press events, things like that. Now, Dave Perry obviously worked on other shows such as Games World as well. He's also worked on various video game magazines throughout the 90s and early 2000s, such as Play Magazine, Sega Pro, things like that. So the guy's got a huge amount of background, mass respect for the guy. Now a tattooist, and a really good one at that, actually. His art studio stuff is incredible. So he's been involved since about day dot, basically, with bigging us up. So a massive thank you to Dave Perry. And then the next one is to come along is now Dominik Diamond, who is the star, really, of GamesMaster, other than Sir Patrick Stewart and Sir Patrick Moore, who unfortunately is no longer with us, which is a shame, because that guy is also a legend. So we've got Dominik Diamond now supporting the show. We'll come to the video footage, I'll show you that in a bit. It's from his Twitch stream. Now, anyone who doesn't know what happened to Dominik Diamond, he did a couple of other shows such as When Games Attack in the UK during the early 2000s, but then he, after a little while, he moved to Canada, where he's been in radio for most of the time as a radio DJ or radio host. And he's kind of, at least when he started this Twitch stream, he's been on a break from that because of COVID and possibly other reasons, I don't know, but mostly COVID, I think. And so he's been doing his own Twitch streams. He plays guitar, sings in bands. So he's doing a lot of other work that isn't GamesMaster related or video games related. And he's got his own following there, and they're sort of colliding. Canadians are sort of like confused that he did a video game TV show, and Brits are like, when are you going to come and do a new season of GamesMaster? And he's like, but I'm in Canada. I'm not coming back to the GamesMaster. So you've got this, but yeah, so he's giving me a shout, which is amazing. So let's go and watch that now. Let's process that.
Some very clever guy called Cyberpunk Studios has started remastering GamesMaster. Now, GamesMaster... Oh, Ash is here. All right, Ash is here as him. All right, Ash.
So Ash, just to give you a bit of background on who Ash is. Ash and Luke are two people on that I know through Twitter. They've been around far longer than me. They've been doing a podcast called Under Consultation. Under Consultation is an episode-by-episode breakdown of the GamesMaster series. They break down not only what happens in the episode, but the bit that I think gives it a bit more clarity than just going, yeah, Dominik said this, then they did this, then they did this, is they give you the context within the time, references that may have been made by Dominik on stage that relate to the real world, that in a modern time frame, when you're not living through the early 90s, you're probably like, what's that mean? You can find them on Twitter, and obviously you can find them on there. I've listened to it on Spotify, but I believe you can also listen to it on iTunes. So yeah, get on that. Those guys are legends.
Okay, so yeah, alerted me to this very clever chap, or chapesses, a group of people called Cyberpunk Studios. They've started remastering GamesMaster. Now, the problem with GamesMaster is that it was back in the 90s and was filmed on VHS. And when you watch it now, it's all kind of grimy and spotty and dodgy looking. But enough about the presenter. Right, this is it. First couple of minutes that they've done of GamesMaster, remastered. So it's all in glitzy HD. Look at this.
That's right, folks.
I'm going to take my face away. So this is actually the opening title from the last ever show.
You'll never amount to anything, Pirate. Everybody clear?
Look at that! Doesn't it look great? HD! How good does that look?
Hello viewers and welcome to the last GamesMaster in the history of the world. Yes, after 7 years of games-related hijinks, we are finally hanging up our pants for good. So I'd advise you to hold your television set gently but firmly and squeeze as much enjoyment as possible out of the next 24 minutes. Now, when normal shows end, they invariably have a review of the best moments from their history. We've never been a normal show, so instead we're going to kick off with a look at some of the worst moments from GamesMaster's past in a section we're calling, Was That Really a Good Idea?
I still get, when I see this bit,
Special guest is none other than Robocop.
I hate this so much, this
can fight
bit.
for many things. Life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. Me? I fought against an out-of-work film extra coming on my show dressed like a dustbin. Unfortunately for you, I lost.
Somewhere there is a crime being committed.
So, old people everywhere, put out the cat and prepare that letter of complaint as we meet the executioner.
Oh, the execution. Oh, so there you go. So it looks pretty good, doesn't it? It looks pretty good. So listen, good luck to. Let me put the. I'm going to put the link to this in the chat thing there, and maybe people can put it in the Discord as well and give it a watch. So the guy gets the views up because it's a fantastic thing. Now, interesting you ask how they did that, and then I got to go because I got to speak to my kid. This takes forever. It tells you the stuff underneath, but basically it is. What does he say? No, he says it literally takes. Hang on. This 2-minute clip took a long time. This 2-minute clip took a 2-minute clip took a month. It took a month for him to make that. I don't know how they do it. Ask him, guys. Everyone, do a favour. Everyone, click on that link. Go on there and ask the guy lots of questions. And say that we watched it on Dominik Diamond's Twitch show, and I thought he did absolutely brilliant.
So that was the video with Dom. Thank you so much, Dom, for mentioning the show. Not mentioning the show, mentioning the restoration. That's incredible. Really helps. So, yeah, so since he said that, I've had a little bit of an uptick on people watching the episode. Now, that episode was the first 2 minutes. As I say, now the first half is done. I'm trying to redirect people to that as we go, because not as many people have seen that. So maybe Dom will mention that next time, I don't know. But yeah, the first half of the final episode is now technically complete. People are asking, you know, how long does it take? As he mentioned at the time, that first 2 minutes took me a month. It's not how long it actually takes me to do, you know, a month. I could do quite a bit more than that. So you're looking at 126 episodes in total, and all of those together come to 3,200 minutes of footage for all 7 seasons all together. On my own, I can if I were to work 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, processing this, I could process 30 seconds a day or 2.5 minutes a week. So to process all 3,200 minutes would take 25 years. That's full-time, non-stop, no breaks. So you can understand why that's not really the most tantalising choice. So the better choice is to go with a staff of 10 people. That way you can essentially divide the overall number by 10. It's not a one-to-one measure, but it kind of works out that way. The cost is about the same. The difference is, if you've got 10 people at it, you can do 5 minutes a day. An episode is about 23 to 25 minutes long. If you're doing 5 minutes a day with 10 staff, you can get 25 minutes done a week. So essentially, you can do an episode a week. Whereas on my own, it would take me 3 months to do a single episode. It's about 2.5 years, but I would put it up to 3 years to do all the series, like all 7 series, because you want to have a bit of time for post-production and polishing stuff off. So let's say 3 years of that would get you the entire show in 4K. I think that's pretty damn considerably quick for what it is. Realistically, to do the whole series, it's going to take some investment from Channel 4 and or Future Publishing, but it's in their best interest because they can have it in 4K, like legit 4K, and that gives it a massive amount of resale value. It has on Blu-ray, which people have mentioned, I'll get to that in a bit, and on streaming networks such as Netflix, which allows for 4K, or Amazon Prime, which only allows for full HD, but will eventually allow 4K. People mention Blu-ray. It's interesting you should say that. I've been working on GamesMaster HD for about 10 years. Not this particular one, as I mentioned earlier. There's a different process that was to do with changing values, but about 8 years ago I sort of got a bit serious on the changing values idea, and I designed a Blu-ray box for it, which so this is the cover is designed based around the first few magazines of GamesMaster. On the inside I can actually do internal designs, but this doesn't have it. I had also made this 4-page booklet. So Blu-ray collection, again these images will need to be replaced with the new restoration stuff. Forward by Dominik Diamond, which is not actually by Dominik Diamond, I made it all up. But I would hope it would be Dominik Diamond should this become a legit thing. On the inside, all the episodes by number count. Now I have done professional releases before, as I say, my own Human Cargo Blu-rays, so I have done professional releases before, I understand what the process is, I know what the legalities are of it, I've got all of that down pat. So if you want to see this restored, I want to see it restored for damn sure. So if we want to get this done, what we need to do is basically broadcast it, and we need to get it seen by the right people. It needs the rights holders, people like Future Publishing or Channel 4, to look at it and actually want to do it. In order for them to want to do it, they're going to want to see that there's a fan base that are eager and ready to want to watch it. So you guys need to be loud. And also, in order to bump it up even more, we need to get it through to the big media sites like Kotaku, like IGN, all of the big, basically all the big media news sites, BBC News if possible, you know, things like that, or Channel 4 News would probably be the best one. But yeah, try and get it onto, as much as possible, try and get it into the media. Get it well known, be loud, make it known that we want this rebuilt, that we need this repurposed, we want this in 4K, it deserves the go. If the quicker we can get that voice out there, the harder we can push that, the more voices we put. Certainly with Dave Perry and Dominik Diamond behind it, those are two very big voices that go behind the potential of restoring the show. There is a possibility that this could be done. They're going to want to know numbers and finances and stats. You don't need to know all that crap because that's boring. But for, you know, I've got all those figures, I've already worked all that out because I work in film, I know what I'm doing. I can get this done, but I need you guys to support it. So let's get out there, let's make it loud, let's make it proud, let's get it done. A big thank you to Dominik Diamond for that big shout out. I'm going to do another thanks to Dave Perry as well for his shout outs and his support for the project as well. And I want to do a shout out to Under Consultation for, I'm pretty certain they're the ones who put me in front of Dominik Diamond. I've just signed up to Discord because I've never used it because I'm an old man. You can see man lines. So I'm trying to get hip and down with the kids now on Discord. So Yeah, so you can hit me up there at Dominik Diamond's Discord. You can hit me up on Twitter. You can hit me up on Facebook. The email at contact@cyberpunkstudios.co.uk. We've got the website, cyberpunkstudios.co.uk. Yeah, so let's get this done, guys. Let's get this made, and let's all end up with a nice shiny copy of GamesMaster.